In this tiny garage you see right here, friend of the channel Bradley Shanks was able to build his dream golf simulator for an extremely cheap price. And in today's video, we're gonna walk you through exactly how he built it and save so much money. Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name's Jock Buffton, and today we're gonna show you how one of my best buddies, Bradley Shanks, built his dream golf simulator, and it only cost him $1,000. So we're gonna be honest, guys, that's a little bit of clickbait because one of the first things we wanna introduce to you is just price sharing. So if Brad had to build this entire thing on his own, he still built it extremely cheap, but he went in with 3 other guys, and that took something that may be out of reach for a lot of people monetarily, and now it is affordable for almost everyone.
Hey, what's up, guys? Bradley Shanks here. Welcome to my lab where I've been working on the world's worst golf swing. Now we're gonna go through how we built the simulator and what we bought and kind of like the prices and so forth, so you guys can possibly build your own. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is the flooring. It's one of the things that we wanna change in here still. It's not the most appealing yet. We're hoping to do some sort of turf like Jock has in his simulator barn, so we can just make it look a little nicer for everyone's eyes.
Now, when we talk about the flooring, Brad talked about wanting to improve it. Obviously, the first thing they went with here was just one of those cheaper mats off of Amazon. Maybe 100 bucks, 100 bucks, Brad?
150.
100 bucks. For this space, he's probably looking at, if he wants to upgrade, probably 300-400 total to get maybe some decent turf to lay over top from Menards, and then you make your hitting strip. Now, how Brad would do that, what you're gonna do is you're gonna lay these 1-inch interlocking foam tiles down. Makes it super simple, and then you just find whatever turf you want to use. You can go really cheap, you could get an expensive putting turf, but I think Lowe's or Menards has a nice looking cheaper turf that will cover the space. So once you have that in there, what you'll do then is you just cut out your hitting strip, you get kind of a premium turf for the hitting strip, and I'm gonna link what we recommend. We've tried a bunch of different hitting strips out, and honestly, there's these like divot action ones that people say are great. They're not great. They're unrealistic. You have to replace them all the time, and they kind of dip down where the ball suspends in midair. So we have these 1-inch thick ones we like. We're gonna link those, and that's what we'd recommend for Brad. That next step for him, 1-inch interlocking foam tiles, turf over top, and then cut out that hitting strip. Now, Brad, you were saying you have something that you think is gonna take it from costing maybe $1,000 for you to allowing you to make money with this simulator. Can you explain a little bit what your plan was with that?
There's this company called Parsims in which you can use your golf simulator as kind of like an Airbnb. So in the long run, hopefully we can start making money off of it and have, people can have fun using it.
And that's so awesome because it's just another way to help convince your wife to build the simulator if you're gonna start making money off it. Now, was that like really hard to set up or was it super easy?
Oh, it was super simple to set up.
Now, when you're doing this, are you worried about like strangers coming into the home or the garage? Like, how does that work out?
So I'm not really nervous about it because I can kind of pick and choose who I want to come. I can accept or deny certain people that would like to come into the golf sim.
Now, one of the other big worries with making your golf simulator an Airbnb is like, what if the people who come in damage it? How does Parsims handle that?
So the nice thing that Parsims did is they set it up where the golfers are 100% responsibility for any damage done inside the simulator. And the payment setup was very simple because there's a company called Stripe that's a nationally recognized payment processing company. Okay, so when it came to building the enclosure here, me and my dad did a lot of it along with some of my brother-in-laws that split the cost. There's a metal pole here that comes out from the wall about, I forget how far away, like 10 inches
Probably
to a foot.
8.
8 inches to a foot. And that's just to hold on with these straps, these clips here, to the screen. And obviously you don't just want metal poles out in the open for balls to come flying back at you. So we had to build this enclosure around it.
Now, the next step after your flooring is gonna be the enclosure. So a couple pieces to this. So what this is just that EMT piping. Looks like it is kind of built that rectangular frame, and then they have poles extending into the wall and they're screwed into the wall, so this is nice and solid. And then you have tarp clips and bungees that hold the impact screen. So right away there you have your impact screen set up. Now the issue is, right, there's nothing kind of protecting the ball from hitting these metal pipes and bouncing back. So then after that, you kind of build your frame that goes over top of that pipe. So this is gonna be at least probably 8 inch out from the frame. And now if Brad steps back, you can see how there is no pipe visible right now. It's all just impact screen and it looks really, really clean. Now, the piping's super cheap. I'll put the price above right now. And then we have these kind of luxury vinyl tiles. These look really awesome. If you buy these pre-built, we actually know a company that's gonna pre-build these for you if you want to, but it's gonna be really, really expensive. So if you wanna make this cheap, you can build these yourself. So we actually have a video, we're gonna link that right now on how to build these. That's how I did it. That is how Brad's dad built these. And then how to adhere them to the wall. If you have room, you can just screw them in the back. Otherwise, what you're gonna wanna do is get some Velcro, screw some Velcro into the wall, put the Velcro on the panels, and then you attach them. But these look really good, and one of the things I really like, if you can get close here, Brad, is I kind of pulled mine too tight, and so the foam doesn't really do anything on mine. It kind of protects the walls, but it still ricochets a decent amount. With Brad's simulator, there's a lot of cushion there. So how to do that, when you pull it, you just pull it a little looser. You don't pull it as tight as you can on there. So all these are to make these, they're 3/8 plywood, 2-inch egg crate foam, and then marine vinyl. And we'll link all those in the description. So the next thing you're gonna see is the impact screen. This is one of the most important pieces. If you go cheap, you might wear a hole in it really quickly and you're gonna be regretting that decision. So guys, there's a whole story with the impact screen. When we first got ours, we didn't wanna spend a lot of money. So we found these secret guys on Reddit and it seemed really sketchy. It was like, just PayPal your money here after you email them, and then you're gonna get this impact screen that's like $400 or $500 off, or it's half the cost of what they regularly are. So we did that, sent the PayPal money, and then magically it showed up and we're good to go, and we've been using them ever since, and tons of our viewers have used them too. So if you want to get the contact info for the secret half-off impact screen, email us at golfbustersofficial@gmail.com and we'll hook you up. And this thing is great, guys. It's 3-ply, so it's gonna last really long. I've had mine for over 2 years. I've probably hit over tens of thousands of golf shots and no sign of slowing down.
Okay, so now we're gonna talk about some of the protection on the outside of the simulator area here, in case any balls go a little rogue. So we have the same metal pulling here that we put behind to hold up the impact screen, that we just put across the ceiling here to hold this little netting for the shanks that go from the right side. Right now, we only have right-handed golfers in here. We don't have enough room for left. We're hoping to add that in the future. But for now, we just need the netting on this right side, and it's a pretty straightforward little protection there, and it was very cheap.
Yeah, very cheap. So netting wise, you're probably like 50 bucks maybe.
So the left side, we don't have any netting yet, or we don't really need any netting because we rarely have shanks that go over there that are too ugly, and we've never had any come back and hit us. If we do add lefties, we're hoping that it'll be an easy net installation on that side, and we'll be able to protect that side as well.
Yep, and you could go net, or you could build more of those kind of vinyl padding. Yep. And if Brad really wanted, if they really wanted to make the enclosure feel kind of luxury, they could add more vinyl padding to the right and left side, but I think this looks great as is. Yeah. So.
Well, and the nice thing is we can slide that out of the way if we want to have people in here or whatever as well, so.
Oh yeah, so kind of what you're saying is this here, you can just slide this out of the way so that it feels more open if you want to have people over.
Pull it out of the way. So
I didn't even realize, look at that. So I just want to show here, it's just a small 2-stall garage that, it's a little tight, but they've made it work. And what's the width and length, would you say, of the usable area here?
So when we created this barn, we talked to Jack Buffton, which way should we do it? Should we hit it this way, this way? We found this direction was the best way because we had 18 feet about with a couch to go this way and about 12 foot wide. And we've never had issues with hitting the ceiling. And we've had like some big men in here that have the club way up. So it's plenty of space in here, even though it looks really small.
How tall are the ceilings?
So 8 foot on an angle up to 12 foot about.
8 foot up to 12, and
we've had a guy that's 6'6", 6'7", never hit the ceiling.
Yeah,
so
even with driver?
Anything, he swings everything. Full blast, never been an issue.
Now, after you have your whole enclosure, flooring, hitting mat built out, right, you're able to hit your golf balls, but then you're gonna need a device that's gonna allow you to play simulator golf. So the one that we recommend, and we have tested, I've tested 8 to 10 different golf simulators ranging from $1,000 to $12,000. And the one that I recommend the most for 95% of people is the Flightscope Mevo Plus. The ability for lefties and righties to play, the affordable cost, and you guys can get this as cheap as possible with our links and discount codes below. But this is really just the one that we have the most fun with. It gives the most data, and it's just such a consistent device. And you guys have heard me talk about it a lot, but I'm gonna have Brad talk about it because Brad has also hit on a bunch of them. And Brad's not making any money off of which device to get, so he can kind of tell you what his thoughts are on why he went with the Mevo Plus, even though, you know, they don't really have lefties in here as of now.
So when we were deciding which launch monitor we wanted to use when it came to building our simulator, I spent time over at Jock Buffton's house using many of the different devices. We're not gonna name them, but we just found that we weren't having issues with the Flightscope. It's always been accurate. This is our second winter. I mean, there's a misread here or there, but it's far and few in between for how many balls we fit in here with tons of different groups of people.
It's so rare compared to the other device. Like the other devices, we get them, you know, once every 30, 40 shots. This is just such a consistent.
It's just consistent. It's what you want in your golf simulator, in my opinion. For its price, you're just not gonna beat it. Like I've talked with Derek before, my dad's not a huge, you know, technology guy. He's not all about computers and stuff. But once he figured out how to set it up, he's never had to ask me even really how to do it anymore. So easy to use, rarely has mistakes. It just was the right choice for us, for sure.
And one of the coolest things about Brad doing this video for us is Flightscope decided to send Brad a free Pro Package upgrade for his Mevo Plus, which doesn't affect how well the Mevo Plus reads the ball, but it gives you a ton of club data metrics, and it's something we use every day to fix our swing instantly with things like club path, face angle, and face to path. After you've gotten your simulator device, then you're gonna have to get what's next to help run it. So that could be an iPhone, it could be an iPad, and you could just have that sitting there. You could hook that iPhone and iPad up to your projector and have it projected, or if you want the best experience possible, you're gonna wanna go with a PC. Now, Brad and me in both of our simulators, we started just off an iPhone or iPad, and sometimes we'd play just off that, sometimes we'd hook it up to the projector, but eventually we wanted to upgrade. So Brad here got this gaming PC, I think 800? Around 800 bucks?
800 to 1,000 probably.
800 to 1,000 bucks for this. And the reason they got that is because they wanted to use one of our favorite simulator programs out there, GS Pro, which it just, without getting too much into it, it's just, in our opinion, the best simulator program out there right now for a multitude of reasons, and it's only an extra $250 a year. And then obviously from the PC, you're gonna have to run an HDMI cord to your projector. Now, the next thing we wanna talk about is the projector. The projector is one of the most important steps, but a lot of people think you can just buy whatever one and throw it in there and you'll be good to go. You really can't. Each projector has a different ratio to which you can set it away. And so Brad's, he got a pretty cheap one. I think you got one for, I think you got a used one maybe. Yeah, maybe a used one for 600 bucks, something like that. It looks great in here, works great. You just gotta make sure you've looked at like projectorcentral.com and make sure it's gonna be in the right position for your space, because obviously you don't wanna hit it. You gotta have it high enough to where it's level with the top of the screen, but there's a lot of details that go into it that a lot of people don't think about. So make sure you take a little bit of time and research which projector is right for you.
All right, and then some other nice things about our simulator here is like Sunday afternoons, if the kids are sleeping, we can come out, turn on the Lions football game and hit some balls while we're doing that. So we have the couch in here. We want to add maybe some more seating in the future. And this is a selling point for your ladies maybe, guys. We can maybe watch some movies or turn on the big game and have people over in your simulator. It's just a nice space to have.
So Brad, how do you guys keep this place warm in the winter?
So yes, it gets cold. You guys know Michigan. In the winter time, we just installed a small little wood burner here. And one bad thing about it is you gotta wait for it to warm up a little bit. So if you know you're gonna play, we just pop some wood in there, start a fire, go eat dinner or whatever, and then come out and play. It's perfect.